Bye. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Corpse Party Blood Drive. When we last left off, we completed Chapter 2. So now we reach Chapter 3. That is called Pain. We'll see how far we get with that. On today's episode, though. Better put the microphone here a bit closer to me. Position myself right here. Aside from Satoshi and my other friends who shared the experience with me, there wasn't a soul in this world who believed that Seiko, Susumoto, Morishige, or Miss Yui ever existed. And this fact was really taking its toll on me, particularly in regards to Seiko.
大丈夫か、Naomi?
もう平気。お母さんにも心配かけっぱなしでいられないもんね。
I flashed the brightest smile I could muster, though I'm still not sure he entirely bought it.
元気出してこうな。
ありがとう。心配しないで。
That night, all I could manage to do was stand perfectly still and stare at my desk. I was mumbling something, but I don't even know what. My eyes had glazed over. It was like I was in a trance, or maybe I just wanted to be. I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong. That reminds me of Akami-tan. Oh, she's drooling over there. I didn't even realize I actually started writing. I was at my desk now, writing words into a notebook. I kept softly repeating her name to myself over and over again. The words started to sound foreign in my head, but I couldn't stop saying it, almost like I'd forget her if I did. There was no other sound in the room, just the scratching of pencil on paper, and the hushed sound of my voice. Just the word Seiko in all of its forms.
Seiko.
My voice was getting firmer each time I said it, more demanding, and my writing was growing more feverish, more intense.
Seiko.
Finally, the pencil broke in half under the strain. I gripped it so hard that it stabbed into my palm. Blood began to drip onto the paper. My head was hanging limply, but the rest of my body had stiffened. If anybody had ever seen me, I bet I would have been quite a sight. I could feel blood rushing to my head. My whole body quivered. I raised my head from this vigil and realized tears were streaming down my face. My voice was strained, choking back a sentence I hoped I'd never say. There were countless pictures of Seiko drawn in my notebook, but in every one of them, her face was blank. I hurled the notebook from my desk. I slammed my head onto the desk with all my might and screamed as loud as my present constitution would allow. Crying, I opened up the photo album on my phone. There was this nagging sensation in the back of my head that I'd overlooked something. I was absolutely bawling at this point. My face was a mess. But I had indeed overlooked something. On the bottom right of the screen, there was an icon for image modification. After a few menu selections, I found myself adjusting the picture's brightness. Beep, beep. I keep hitting the button to turn it up, higher and higher. And slowly, in the very center of the black void that has replaced Seiko's face, I could see something begin to form. Oh, it's a letter. It says something. Can you see that? Okay, you can see that. It felt like I was on the verge of incredible discovery, filled with a new hope I hadn't felt since before the incident at the Shinosaki estate. There was still room to increase the brightness. There were still countless increments to go before I reached the phone's upper limit. I could keep pressing the button over and over, until finally, in the very center of the very center would-be face, I could make out extremely faint pattern that looked like freehand lettering spelling the name Sachi in hiragana. Was that right? Was I certain that's what it said? Instinctively, I placed the phone screen closer to my eye. The limited resolution made this pointless, but I didn't care. It was so close. I was beginning to lose focus, but it still wasn't close enough. I had to make sure that that's what it said. I touched it with my forehead as near as my eye could get. Oh. At which point, the letters latched onto my cornea. What? They literally attached themselves to my eye. They were there. No matter where I looked, I saw them. My vision has gone half right, obscured by the phantom letters. It took only a moment before the pain set in, and it was not an insignificant amount. I collapsed on the ground, hand ineffectually covering my eye. It was absolutely excruciating. That's around when my mom burst through the door. She looked like she was at the end of her rope, like she didn't believe anything was wrong, and I was probably just faking it. She was definitely more annoyed than concerned. With nothing more than a grunt, she grabbed me from behind, pinning my arms so I couldn't hurt myself. I fell backwards onto my rear, unable to resist her restraint. My left eye was glazed over with tears and I had some blood shot as an eye can get. And right on the cornea, white blister-like bulges were beginning to form, spilling out Sachi. There was no way my mom could ignore or dismiss that. She quickly stepped back in shock, finally acknowledgement. Her breathing had quickened, but she didn't say a thing. She just left the room. It was too late. She was gone, halfway across the house by the time I called out. Believe her now? I was sprawled out on the corner of my room, like a giant stuffed bear. At some point, I think I lost consciousness, but I'm still not really sure. I'm starting to feel a little less tense, a little more relaxed. I looked up. At the prospect of actually discerning details in my room, my left eye reacted with a sharp, intense shot of pain. My vision was still half white. I could feel the pain with every pulse, in every part of my body. It was almost unbearable. And yet, she'd run out of the room in shock, and obviously had been gone for quite some time. As sick as she was of me, I couldn't imagine she'd leave me to suffer without doing anything. I opened my bedroom door and slowly crept downstairs. I could hear a sound coming from the kitchen. A very specific, very peculiar sound repeating at regular intervals. I did my best to sneak over to the doorway and peek in undetected. And what I saw was my mom sharpening a kitchen knife with intense focus. I had no idea what she planned to do with it, but an irrational fear washed over me. I slowly and silently sneaked my way over to the front entrance, and I made sure not to peep. Not a peep could be heard from me until I was outside and away from the house.
Kishinuma-kun!
It was a new morning, bright and early. Satoshi called out to me like I was 12 or something. I'd be in this old, cheap, run-down, 2-story apartment building for a long time now. It may not have been much to look at, but I felt it had a certain charm. Satoshi was cradling his school bag in his arms as he waited for me in front of my room on the ground floor. One mornings when he wasn't waylaid by Yuka, he would always drop by and invite me to walk to school with him. Originally, he was doing it for my own good, as I've been known to ditch school a lot, and he figured a friendly offer like this might get my attendance up a little. Admittedly, it worked. I finally made my entrance, or my exit, I suppose. And I'm pretty sure Satoshi must have been really confused as I had on my shoulders one hell of a backpack, boasting a full-on survival kit, provisions, the works. Yep, Satoshi was confused, alright.
なんだその荷物。山登りでもするみたいな。
Slowly, I carefully lowered the giant backpack to the ground.
いや、ちょっとな。つかお前、いい加減その小学生みたいな呼びかけやめろ。
え？
ま、いいけどよ。俺はちょっと今から出かけっから。そうそう、山登りだ。悪いけど今日は俺休みってことで頼むわ。くそ。まさか昨日あのまま気を失うとは不覚だった。後頭部打ったのは覚えてるが、目が覚めたら病院とか。何やってんだ俺は。待ってろ篠崎。必ず。
また何か隠して。
あ？
I guess it wasn't all that convincing, but even still, I didn't expect Satoshi to see through me so quickly and easily. I stumbled under his glare. It was almost like I'd just been called out by a newborn baby, or like a fawn. Dude was way too innocent for his own good.
こいつの勘の鋭さは半端ねえからな。ほとんどそれだけが取り柄みたいなもんだが、人の悩みとか喜ぶことをすぐに察知しやがる。
なんだよ言えよ、水臭いな。
ああ、そうだな。
Aimu's face appeared in the back of my mind.
篠崎はサトシたちをもう巻き込みたくないって言ってたしな。だったら言えねえよ。愛子って女とっ捕まえて天神賞にもう一度行く方法を探るなんてよ。
天神賞と関係あるのか？
What? Is he a fucking mind reader? Damn! He was on today!
その反応、やっぱりそうだな。
なんでわかった？
God damn it! I'm terrible at this. I covered my mouth, but it was too late. I'd already confirmed
そ
it.
りゃさ、リュックからお札とかいろいろ見えてるしさ。
I did have a lot of talismans with me. I'd bought them at the convenience store and didn't exactly pack smartly enough to hide them. I certainly wasn't going to win any awards for stealth.
だけど、あそこは崩壊したんじゃ。まさかまだあるのか？
いや、俺らが脱出するとき見た通りだ。あのまま潰れてるだろうよ。
Satoshi stared deeply into my eyes, as if evaluating my answer for any possible deception. This time it seemed like I succeeded in fooling him.
だよな。まあどのみちもう幸子もいないあの空間にはおまじないも効かないし、行く方法もないけどな。
ああ、俺は今からちょっと天神症のことで調べもんだ。別に危険なことはねえからよ。
そうか。だったらいいんだけどさ。でも何か行動を起こすなら一人でするなよ。ナオミにも話す。こういうのは何も言われない方が辛いんだ。
I thought I was in the clear, but Satoshi suddenly got a puzzled look on his face. He reached over to my backpack and pulled out one of the talismans I'd lazily stuck in front pouch.
こんなもん聞くのか？
He was looking it over like an appraiser or something. Why wouldn't he just leave me alone?
知らねえよ。イワシの頭よりはマシだろ。
I yanked the talisman bag out of Satoshi's hand and crammed it into the front pocket of my school blazer.
よしき、たまに昔の人みたいなこと言うよな。
せえな。
でもな、今日はまず学校に連れてくぞ。
With this, Satoshi grabbed my sleeve.
あ？なんでだよ。
だってお前、出席日数足りてないだろ。クオン先生が授業前に朝一で歩行って言ってたんだ。小テストで済むってさ。
知らねえよ。ダブローが何しようがそれどころじゃねえ。
そんなにお前が優先するってことは篠崎も関係あるのか？
わっ
Was that guy psychic? He hadn't been wrong all morning.
まあいいや、学校行って聞いてやる。行くぞ。リュックはとりあえず家の中に入れてっと。
He's not psychic, you're just being way too obvious. It seems Satoshi wasn't going to take no for an answer.
おい、サトシ待てて。わかった。いや、いいんだろう、わけをってだから手離せって。はいはい。
サトシくん、
Whoa, what
岸
the?
沼くん、おはよ
What was that? I thought I was like, whoa, she's back? What the hell?
おはようございます。
あ
う。たった15分の小テストで単位をつけてあげるんだから頑張ってよね、岸沼くん。
あ。
ヨシキには説明してあります。
大事な用あんのに来てやったんだ。終わったら速攻帰るからな。
偉いわ。じゃあ教室行きましょう。
ここでいい。テスト持ってきてくれ。
ヨシキ、無茶言うなよ。
マジでそれどころじゃねえんだよ。俺は行かなきゃならねえとこがあんだ。
I stuck my hand into my pocket and took out the mechanical pencil. If they were going to force me to do this, I need to shave off every second I could. As I removed the pencil, the talisman I'd shoved in there earlier fell to the ground.
あら、
早くあのレーグマニアを探し出さねえと。篠崎が。
レーグマニアってもしかして丹羽愛子さんのことか？
Use your inner voice!
ああ、そうだよ。
篠崎に何かあったのか？まさか本当に天神症？
ああ、
お前なんでもっと早く言わないんだよ。
お前が聞く耳持たなかったんだろうが。ずるずるずるずる引っ張りやがって。
愛ちゃんがどうしたの？天神？
いや、なんでも。
愛ちゃん？
俺、そういえば先生って庭？
うん。今名前の出た丹羽愛子は私の妹よ。愛ちゃん。
先生、その愛子 に会いたいんだけどよ。どこに行けば会えるんだ？
この時間ならやっぱり学校かしらね。昨日の夜様子がおかしかったんだけど。
先生、一緒に住んでるの？
ええ。
俺と篠崎に会った後か。様子がおかしかったって、どうおかしかったんだよ。
えっとあ、私あなたのこと喋ったかも。
は？
やだわ。
ああ、他にはねえの？
そうね、思い出してきたわ。何か小さな青い石を2個大事そうに持っていたわ。
それだ。あいつもう一組持ってやがったんだな。だがこれはチャンスだぜ。先生、愛子は今日も確かに学校に行ったのか？
愛ちゃんなら昨日の夜深刻な顔をしてお家を出て行って朝まで帰ってこなかったわ。朝ごはんを作って待っていたんだけれど全部私が食べちゃった。
よしき！
Fuck your quiz, sama!
先にあの石を一人で使われちまったら篠崎を追う手段がなくなっちまうじゃねえか。
よしき！待てよ！
あ、hang on。
よしきは後でまた連れてくるからさ。
As Satoshi turned to leave, he caught a glimpse of Nakashima, standing on the school roof on the wrong side of the guardrail, looking tired and worn. There was no spark in her eyes, no awareness. It looked almost as if she was sleepwalking.
Naomi!
She's gonna Sutakai!
大変。
Azutakai! Someone. Naomi's gotta jump. Naomi's gotta jump! Whoa, she's still alive. I tried to pick myself up and look around. But I could only move my neck. Everything was dark and the only sound of my surroundings was an unpleasant, vaguely organic noise filling my ears. I felt in some sort restrained. I don't even remember what happened to her last time. As my eyes adjusted to the dim light of the room, I could see that I was blanketed by red flesh. It was as if the floor had come to life and was absorbing me into its collective. I focused my strength and was finally able to break free from my bindings. Bits of red matter flying away from my body as I tore through it to freedom. I was absolutely soaked. However, with a strange viscous fluid and chunks of meat were clinging fast to my skin and clothes. The blanket of flesh on the ground was now bubbling out with murky red liquid from all the spots I've torn in my escape, as violently as if a faucet had been turned to full. I was in tears, trying as hard as I could to wipe the viscera from my body. As I watched, however, a chunk I had been trying to shake free from the back of my hand just dissolved away. Aside from the murmurs of the flesh blanket, the room was deathly silent and lit only by a faint blue glow streaming in from a nearby window. Oh fuck! An entity resembling Mayu was charging at me from the depths of the darkness. Oh, whoa, what? It was all in my head. A flashback. She wasn't after me now. But she definitely had been.
あれは確かに鈴本さんだった。
The tears were pouring out of my eyes by this point. I could do nothing to hold them back.
私本当にみんなを生き返らせることなんてできるのかしら。こんな真っ暗な廃墟でブックオブシャドウズなんて見つかるの？来るんじゃなかったのかな。
I crouched on the floor to gather my thoughts and noticed that my cell phone was lying on the ground beside me. That wasn't all. Our circular design was carved into the floor, perfectly round as it traced my compass. With a fleshy goo I'd been trapped in more or less centered inside.
何これ。
Actually, come to think of it,
さっき確か大きなお化けが斧みたいなものを振り回して。
I checked myself over for injuries. There were none, or at least none caused by an axe.
私どうして助かったのかしら。
Good question. Whoa! Oh, I forgot I can do this. Gah! Guess I must have skinned my knee when I tripped. If memory serves, and if the floor plan wasn't changed too much, the infirmary should be right here. Maybe I can catch my breath there for a minute. Ew! The hard wooden clops of my footsteps gave way to soft, squishy series of plops. Taken aback by this sudden change, I looked down, terrified at what I might be walking in. As I feared, whatever it was looked awfully biological. Huge swath of the floor were coated in what looked like internal organs, moving and swaying and pulsing in a sick rhythm.
さっきから気持ち悪いな。これ何なの？
I raised my foot and found a seaweed-like substance that closely resembled a network of blood vessels stuck to the bottom of my shoe.
以前の天神症にはこんなのなかった。これって何か気持ち悪いものに侵食されているみたい。
Oh, I can control. Let's have the light on. There might be some wire traps. Oh. Okay.
これなんだろう。篠崎義恵の家の地下室で見た呪術の道具と似ているけれど少し違う。あれよりも随分悪魔的だわ。なんだろう。見ているだけで恐ろしい。落ち着くのよ、あゆみ。私のなすべきこと考えるの。ブックオブシャドウズはこの女の子が持っている可能性が高い。そしてこの子は多分ユキちゃん。事情を話せばきっと本を渡してくれる。さっき気を失う前に一瞬あの子を見た気がしたけど、なんだか随分雰囲気が違ってたな。
Yeah, okay. I should leave a candle here. Maybe Misoto will see it. Hopefully Misoto will see it. Oh, I'm out of matches. How about if there are any nearby? What? Well, I can save now. I should probably save. Uh-oh. Oh shit, which is what? Oh, doesn't matter. There's a wooden doll here that seems to be completely suffused with Leave it be. I don't know how much darkening. Ah. Let's see how much darkening I got. You can't even check how much darkening you got. That's not it. I'm just gonna grab this shiny, okay? There's something on the floor. A name tag rests beside the corpse. Succumb to shock on removal of spine. Catchphrase was, in this world of uninteresting things, let's be interesting. The glass is too coated with dust and debris to get a good look at what's inside. Matches. It looks like there's all manner of medicine inside the cabinet, but the door is shielded shut, as if they were never meant to open in the first place. Many have clearly tried, however, as the glass is covered in handprints. There are traces of vomit and blood in and on the sink and mirror. Someone couldn't hold it in. There's something lying on the ground next to the heater. Oh! Found some matches. Neat. I'll just save here again. Cause this is it for this episode. Lots of talking, not so much gameplay, but whatever. I'm gonna leave you guys with a high five. Bam!
Blah 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 blah.